they need to do is set. The stage is set. I think it's just a matter of like troubleshooting and working towards finalizing the animation.
Okay. Fantastic.
And also on my end, I have some computer issues, so I'm on my phone. So I'll mostly be guiding people
Okay.
through that. I tried to download a Blender for Android, but it just doesn't want to stay open.
Sure. But I think it would be good that for Pablo, Rodrigo to share their screen and we can guide them through.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good, good. All right. Rodrigo, do you like to start? Share your screen and show us where you are. Pablo, while Rodrigo is setting up, if you like to launch your project and make a list of any questions you might have.
Yes.
Okay, good. Any new tricks you'd like to learn or problems that we need to troubleshoot? Just make a list so when you share the screen, we can try to address all your questions. Okay, Rodrigo, your microphone is not on, Rodrigo.
Yes. Sorry.
No worries.
What happened?
Microphone's off right now. Okay, now we can hear you. Now you need to share your screen.
Oh. Okay.
Move your mouse. You remember how to do that? Bottom of the
Yes.
screen? Yep, okay.
Now.
All right, so let's play the animation just so we can. Yeah, you're close. The play button. Yep, perfect.
I couldn't do it.
The animation doesn't work? Are you saying, Rodrigo?
Yes.
Well, let's do you okay, so I see you have the rocket, like a place mark for the rocket attached to the circle. And if you spin the circle, is that rectangle parented to the circle?
Yes, it is. Well, I remember that, yes. Well, last time, yes. I don't know why it's not now.
Well, let's would you do me a favor and select the circle and rotate it? I just want to, double check. It might be lag on the screen share.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's working. You have 3 keyframes. I can see that. Hit escape so it returns to its default position.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so now that we're right here, let's go to, I'm gonna attempt to use annotate. Let me just see if
Pablo, help us troubleshoot Rodrigo's. If you see some problems, chime in, okay, Professor Pablo?
Yes.
Speak to us more, Rodrigo. What are the things you've tried? What's your strategy?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you explain what you have to do to make everything animate? Explain the animation setup process.
Well,
You set up keyframes. How did you set up the keyframes?
Object, animation, and insert keyframe, and we select this. In this case,
Okay,
this.
great.
Well, first we need to parent this with this, and then we make the new keyframe.
Good.
And well,
Okay.
we set it with this.
And can we try to simplify this and make it go just from one keyframe to the next? Let's try to simplify and make one thing animate just to make sure you have the right process. Does that make sense, Brent?
Yes, that's what we were doing. We were resaving the first keyframe. And I was going to have him delete the middle one and then save the last keyframe, the third one.
Great.
And that would kind of just, basically effectively test that the keyframes had the correct data stored.
Right.
Because a keyframe could just be the same frame stored 3 times by accident.
Yep.
Okay, so Rodrigo, did you save this first keyframe again? The location, rotation, scale option?
How?
With the object animation insert keyframe. Did you do that on the first one just now?
I think not.
I'm sorry, it came through a little faint. You said you think so?
I think that no.
Oh, Rodrigo, you got to speak a little bit louder so we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's save the keyframe and then so you're on frame 1. You can tell you're on the not literally frame 1, you're on frame 0, but you can tell you have an animation frame saved because this is yellow.
Yes.
So if we go, yes, whenever you see that's yellow, that corresponds to that matches the line. So you'll see that you have 3 yellow lines. Each of these is a keyframe. So I just want to overwrite these keyframes. And effectively, it's the same strategy John mentioned, was just kind of let's move something and see if it's working. So on this frame, let's go to object. And the same process you just described to John, let's do that on this frame. Animation, insert, and then we're going to select, yes, perfect. Okay, so now that we've done, okay. All right, so now the fastest way to jump to this frame without clicking is just move your mouse over here anywhere. Oh, yeah, definitely do that again. Do that again if it didn't register. And then press the up key on your keyboard. When you're over the timeline, if you press the up key, it should jump to the next keyframe, or down key, up and down. So I saw it went, what was that, frame 78? So put your mouse, just leave your mouse right here. And then, yeah, perfect. You got it. So now what we want to do is let's delete this keyframe. So, okay. So we want to go back to frame 62.
I deleted.
We already deleted it? Okay, I think the refresh is a little slow. Okay, so I'll just assume you said you deleted it already, so I'm going to assume that's gone. Now press up and then go to the last frame, which looks like it's 251 or 252. And rotate your circle and then insert another keyframe.
Oh, okay.
And this should effectively have a frame 1, a frame 2. Okay, just updated where I see the other one deleted. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'm having a nightmare with my computer that I've had for the past I want to say at least 8 years. It was a gaming laptop. It served me really well, but recently it's been freezing a lot. And I have a solid state drive, so I don't think it's that. So I have it opened up under my desk, but I made a really silly hardware error before the webcast. I forgot that the on laptops the Wi-Fi antenna gets wired up into the screen. And I had the screen removed so I could open it up and see if it was just overheating. So I can't get any Wi-Fi signal on my laptop because of that. So I'm stuck on my phone. So I think it might be a little slower than normal. Sorry if I'm a little lagged.
Yes.
Okay, so from here, just hit play and let's see if this works.
I inserted the new.
Yes. And again, I might be like 10 seconds behind what you actually did or something like that. Hi, no man.
That works. Now what?
Okay, excellent. I see it. Yeah, it's definitely on my end, but I see it's refreshing. I see it spinning around. So does that work well?
Yes, but now to this side, to here.
Could you say that one more time?
And now I need to move this until here. No? So I make a new keyframe here. Or how do I make?
Are you trying to make it rotate all the way around?
Yes.
I see.
Or I
So
create a new keyframe from here and from here.
what? So there's a little bit of lag on the update, but basically the last keyframe, whether that's 251, I think it is, where the yellow line is, you can just rotate it further. So you don't have to make the frame 251 stop in front of the planet. You can make this go all the way back around to the back. You can just overwrite the keyframe.
Okay. So I overwrite this one here.
Yes, on 251. Yep, and then you just rotate it to the back, and then just do object, animation, insert keyframe, and then make that selection. And now hit play, and it should go all the way around.
Looking good.
Excellent.
All right, Brent, good troubleshooting. Okay, let's pass the ball to Pablo.
Yes.
Rodrigo, if you watch Pablo, we may be able to learn some good tricks here.
Okay.
Oh, and I don't know if we introduced our new student to the class, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky, are you still there? I think Ricky had to excuse himself. He just didn't sign out. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say we can introduce him real quick.
Okay.
I haven't. Well, I just did the airplane. I just did that the airplane go around the. Well, I did the airplane and the circle. But the only thing is that I can't animate. I can't animate the other things, and I only can animate the rotation of the camera.
Okay. So you want to animate the rocket flying around the planet as the camera spins around.
Yes.
And you already have it attached to a circle, which is perfect. I noticed, though, it looks like there's only one keyframe on frame 0. Is that a yellow line, right, that I see?
Yes.
So the reason why it's not animating is you want to make more keyframes. So go to like frame. How many times do you want to spin around the planet during the animation? Just once or more than once?
Like once.
Okay, so go to frame 250 or 251. Sometimes
Um,
going one frame past or a frame before can be good for just.
here frame.
Oh no. I mean, let me better explain that. So inside of this timeline, each of these almost it's like a number line. Each of these represents one frame of animation. So this is frame 40. This is frame 60. This is frame 80. So if I say go to frame 250, that means click over here or type in 250 down at the current frame. Hi, Norman.
Hi, Norman.
Right.
Yes.
And so that was the problem.
Yes. So basically now just rotate it around and then it go the same thing that Rodrigo did. Object, animation, insert keyframe.
Okay.
And let's just make sure it registered.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. And any other issues or just that?
No.
Do you
Continue.
do you know how to insert your airplane? Did you want to import your airplane?
Pablo already has it.
Not,
Oh, I don't see your airplane.
no, is that I this airplane? I done it right now very quickly.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
So,
going to insert my airplane.
okay,
plane.
cool. Rodrigo, you need to build a rocket, create a rocket, or grab the rocket that you made in the last class in the springtime.
Well, I want to create a new rocket.
Great, fantastic. Do that.
I am making a new orbit for my
Good. Good.
All right. And Norman, I believe, is on. And Norman, is your connection okay now?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Great.
Would you like to share your progress?
Okay.
So, Pablo, you have to stop sharing your screen in order for Norman to grab the screen. Thank you, Pablo.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I think I fixed this in render mode. Planet, so now it looks like the colors and everything.
All right, excellent.
What I want to do is that, like, here's my ship, but like the all around it you can see it because it doesn't have a color. So, but if I go to solid, you can see it in there. And I
I
don't know
see.
I don't remember how to give a color to this.
To the rocket ship. So I believe it's selected right now.
Yep.
Right click on it just to make sure. Okay, excellent. And what we want to do is, let's see, preview, render pipeline. Would you scroll up on this menu over here?
Which one? Oh, this one.
And then right here, where it says data, choose object. Now click new. And let's give this any color for now. or even, let's just change it to like blue or red or something just so we can see it. And let's go to render image. I want to see how this looks in.
Oh.
Excellent. So I am curious. So if you go to render, then render image, let's just make sure that there's a, okay. That just means the camera is really close. You can hit escape to exit.
Where? Ah, here.
The escape key, and it should bring you back to the 3D view.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to, yeah, let's
Oh, this
see.
is a camera, I think. Or no, this one, like this little thing. Here.
That says, the way you can tell what's selected is when you select something, it will say it's, oops, okay, it will say its name down here. So like if you right click the circle, for instance, and you'll see this will change.
Oh, okay.
So a trick that I know, if you can't find something, go to the select menu and choose select all. It's right there. Select all is also deselect all. It's a toggle. So the first thing it does is it will deselect everything, and then click on it again, and it will select everything. Now, Blender works like PowerPoint, where if you hold down the Shift key and click, I believe in Blender it will be Shift and right click, you can deselect or select multiple things without, like, kind of like in PowerPoint, how if you would select 3 boxes. Exactly. So select all, and then we want to hold down Shift and right click the lamp while holding down Shift. And then right click it again and keep holding Shift the whole time. Now do the same for the sphere, like the planet. And just continue to hold Shift and right click again until it deselects. And in theory, the last thing selected should be the camera. So press the G key and just move your mouse, and let's see if a camera pops out of somewhere.
Oh.
No world.
I have a little bit of lag on my end, but did it show up or?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
it did.
excellent. Excellent.
Hey.
I don't know if you were on when I told everyone else, but long story short, my computer went poof. I got it up and running, but I forgot to plug in the wireless adapter, and we're already in the webcast, so I'm on my phone. So I got a little lag on the video update. All right, so let's move the camera back. This fly mode. So go to the view. Actually, this is another good way to so if you go to the view menu down here, this is probably even easier. And then go to, let's see, view camera. Okay, so camera view. Now, if you press, while in camera view, if you press the Shift F key, Shift and F, it will enter fly mode. And fly mode lets you move around like a first-person video game like Minecraft. You can use the arrow keys or WASD. And I believe it's Q and E will, pan you up and down. So you can just fly to where you want the camera to be,
Oh.
where you can see the planet and you can see the rocket. I suspected the other method would get us the camera pretty quick because it looked like when you rendered that the camera was right by the planet anyways. Okay, perfect. And now go to render and then choose image. All right, we're getting some progress there. All right. Now I noticed there's that black, what looks like almost like a square behind the planet, or like
Yep.
something that would be rectangular. What is that in the 3D view? So you can hit escape, and we should get back to 3D. There's nothing there, correct?
I think so. Only the camera, the light, the sun.
Which technically that shouldn't do anything, but let's move the sun just for the sake of visibility. Let's move it towards the rocket, so that way the sun is on the side where the camera will be, and then we
Okay.
can rotate a sun just like we rotate any object. So we can use the yeah, or even this. We could even just try and render it like this and see. Yeah, that's how you rotate it. Perfect. Perfect.
There.
Excellent. Okay, so let's do render image, and let's see if that rectangle still presents itself.
Yep.
Okay, there's two things it could be. One is it could be a hidden object, and two, it could be in a different layer that still gets rendered somehow. So let's hit escape. Okay, perfect. You already. Okay, there's only one layer visible. So what I want you to do is just press the space bar in the 3D view. This tool is super, super useful. If you learn enough terms in Blender, or remember enough features, but you don't feel like going to the menu or looking for the menu, spacebar is a shortcut where you can type in a feature name and find it. So type in show, SHOW. Let's see if there's an option called show hidden.
Yep.
Show hide render view. That's not it. Show user. Type in hidden instead of show. HIDDEN. Okay, so that was not as useful as I was hoping. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Okay.
There's a shortcut or a menu option. Render show hidden objects. Thank you, Google. Shift H will toggle. Okay, so I think Shift H.
Okay. I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't think that's we.
Oh no, just the Shift H key in the 3D viewport.
I don't know what.
It says it should toggle.
What?
Hit escape, and so you press Shift H and everything disappeared.
Yep.
If you press it again, does it come back?
No.
Ah. Okay, hit Control Z until you see your stuff again. Let me go back to Google and see if there's a better result that doesn't do that.
Nothing is happening.
Hidden, unhidden objects doesn't work. Okay, this looks like a possible thread. Alt H. Oh, that's edit. No, that's not right. Okay, so I hid, close, edit, fine, close back, Alt H, nothing happened. Okay, this is a useful site. Okay, let's see. Give me a second to get back over to Zoom. Okay, so here's one of the things that makes a lot of sense. This should be a very easy fix. So
Okay.
over here, this column has eyeballs in it, I think, right? They grayed out.
Oh yeah.
Click on those eyeballs. All of them.
Oh, here's the camera.
Okay. Yeah, so just kind of scroll down that list and just click everything.
Ah, here's the cube.
Yeah, okay. And then just bring everything back before
Okay.
and we'll delete that cube. Unless you like it.
Well,
I don't like
lamp.
it. Okay. Sorry for the
Okay.
scary. Like, Brent, everything you said made things get worse. Help. Okay, so let's see. So with the cube, where'd the cube go?
Are you
Did you hide
deleted?
it?
No, I
Oh,
deleted.
perfect. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of lag, so I was like, it's
Yep.
gone. Okay, so this is perfect. Let's do render. Okay. So now we're getting into some good shape here. Now, what I would think would be interesting is you haven't animated yet, right?
No.
Professor Pablo, and let's say even Professor Rodrigo this time, if
I
you're
think
willing.
it was something like this, and he was shift with these two things.
Yes.
Shift. Yep.
Yes.
Like that.
So the basic, I want to see if they can explain because they both have an animation. So just, I think it would be cool if we test their animation knowledge while you're getting this part in. Professor Pablo and Rodrigo, could you explain to Naman how to parent the ship to the circle, how to set two keyframes?
Yes.
I'm just worried about when Professor Pablo sends his bill to me. All right, take it
Um,
away, Pablo.
First, you need to select the rocket,
Okay.
and then you need to select the circle. No, but you need to press up shift while you're clicking
Yep.
zoom. Yes. Then you need to uh, go to object.
Nope.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay.
And to parent object object.
Okay.
And now try to spin around the circle. Uh, mm,
All right, I think I see one thing that might be able to. This is it looks like it's not rotating on the center point, and I think there's an option. Sorry to cut in right here. Um,
Oh, it was this one, right?
I think it's actually. You can try medium point, but I think it's individual origins. Either way, I
yes.
think either one works better. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll let Professor Pablo take it back.
And now you want to do an animation, no?
Yep.
So
In
you
here,
need to go to object.
animation.
Yes, insert keyframe
And it was.
and rotation.
Yep.
And you need to rotate the but just one thing here you need to put it in 250 here.
Where? Oh. How much?
250. Well, the one if you the limit you want, but the best limit is 250.
Okay. Now I think I
And
rotated, right?
Then you need to do it again, the object.
Okay.
Go again to object. You need to, no wait, here, you need to put it in 250.
Yep.
Then in object, animation,
Keyframe.
rotation, and spin it. Now try to click here. Brent, do I
Okay,
missing
so
something?
the one thing I'm noticing, as it's scrolling, it looks like the rotation didn't register. So here's a keyboard shortcut to skip keyframes, like keyframe 1 to keyframe 2. If you leave your mouse over this section, so just like kind of place your mouse over the timeline and then press up and down on the keyboard. So that's the first frame.
Oh.
So frame 1 and frame 2, what I noticed, if you look over here,
Yeah, like this two green
conveniently,
lines.
well, not even necessarily the green line parts, but okay, this is a menu that I didn't suggest going to, but it's really good you're there. My annotation should pop up in a second. It's over on the right side, exactly. So play your animation and look at those numbers. Those are stirring the rotation in degrees per frame. So think of it, there's 24 frames a second. So those numbers should update 24 times a second, increasing or decreasing based on the rotation, but they stay the same. So what I think happened is when you saved the second keyframe, I don't think you rotated it. I think you saved the keyframe and then rotated it by accident. So what you want to do is go to frame 250 or press up on the key. Or this one. This one's okay. Yeah. No, either one. Frame 1
Oh.
or frame 2. Yeah, that's perfect. So again, there's a little bit of lag on my end, so forgive me. But basically, either keyframe, just rotate it and then insert a keyframe. After the rotation, I think it should fix. As you see, as you're spinning it, the Z value is changing. So that's how you know that it registered some difference. And now if you play this, it should rotate.
Oh, I think it's the other way around. Yep.
Nice work, guys. Looking good.
All right, so Professor Rodrigo, if you're comfortable, now that we changed the color of the rocket, we helped Norman animate it, would you be able to help Norman add a background? Basically just a plane with a texture.
I think it's
I have another question.
Oh, sure, yeah. We can let you share your screen first.
Okay, thank you. Can I use this part of the timeline?
Oh, the other side of it? Yes.
Yes.
You can make this animation as long as you want. So the way you would do that is there's 3 values on the timeline that matter. On Zoom Mobile, I can't draw all the way down, but down here, let me change the color of this annotation. This would be fun. Okay. So down on this side, we have start.
Yes.
The start value is the first frame of the animation, as you know. But then the second value is end. End right now is 250. End just says how many frames, like basically the start and end frame determine the length of this animation in frames. Yeah, exactly. So you can put that number as high as you want. You could even offset the start number to 10. So when you go to render an animation, if the first 10 frames were something you didn't like, you can omit them. You can remove them just by changing start to a different value as well. And then the third one, as you know, is the current frame. Right now it says you're on 60, I think. So the current frame. So if you ever want to change the length, the start frame, the end frame, or the complete, the duration, how long the animation is, these are the values you would change to add or remove frames, and to offset. Offset meaning move the section that will get rendered. And the last thing that you would have to remember is that there's 24 frames in a second right now based on the default values. So the only other number you'd ever have to change besides the start and end frame is the frame rate. But I don't think we have to worry about that right now. So you can just say, if I want my animation to be 10 seconds, that's 24 frames times 10 is 240 frames. 240 frames will get you 10 seconds when we render it. Does that make sense? Just a little fun math.
And well, I don't know if you know, but why do we need to change the start and end values to make bigger this
Okay,
time?
so you said you want to use the other side of the timeline, right? Like this side?
Yes, but why do I need to change the values and they are not like usable all the time?
Ah, I see.
Is
So
there-
basically, the reason why Blender gives you the option, the ability to disable, some frames is let's say you made a really complicated movie. It takes a really long time to render. Let's say it's like Toy Story. You guys all know Toy Story, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just remember, as I'm explaining this, if Andy comes home, we all have to drop to the floor. Um, so basically, if a frame of animation took, a few hours to render, and you rendered like, I don't know, like 100 frames, and there was an error in 10 of them, you could say, well, I'm only going to re-render those 10 frames, not all 100. So it basically gives the person who's making a movie be able to determine how long it's going to be. It allows the person making a movie, it gives them the ability to just isolate, separate one section of the timeline. So if they have to fix something, they can. Or, maybe something needs to be in motion. Like maybe you did something like, how the rocket starts flying slowly and gets faster in the middle, and then it slows down at the end?
I want to change that.
Well, maybe you skip the first 15 frames, and maybe you skip the last 15 frames of the animation. And you kind of crop it in the middle. You only select the parts where it's moving faster. There is a way to change that, though. There's an actual way. It's changing an option in the animation section. I think we can save that to the end, or maybe off this webcast, because it's a little detailed. It's not that complicated, but I think we got a few more things to get through. But if we don't do it this class, we can definitely do it next class. Just remind me.
Yes.
So, Rodrigo, can you help Norman put a background in his project? Can you show Norman how you did that?
Okay. I will try.
Sorry, go ahead.
I will try.
Okay.
So, share your screen. This.
The reason why we like to do this to you guys is being able to explain something means you understand it better than just being able to do it.
Well put, Brent. If you can explain something, it's clear you know how to do it.
Yes.
So Norman, if you like to share your screen, Rodrigo will help you import a background.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rodrigo.
So go to create at the side, left side,
Okay.
and make
Sorry to interrupt. Rodrigo, have you ever used the annotation tools?
yes, sorry.
Oh no worries. I was gonna say we could show you real quick how to use them because they're super useful, and honestly, webcasting is the way of the future, and even present. So the more you get used to it, easier you'll find work or explain stuff to people. But okay, sorry, go ahead.
So please make a plane.
Yep. I thought I would have to do that.
And make it as bigger as you want your background. And this is the most difficult part. I think so. After this. That plane will be in your background.
Yep. So I think I have to import an image, right?
Yes. Go like there. No. Yes.
Oh, just here.
No, I think it's the next.
Yep. Then I will have to find an image first.
Okay.
So.
You're doing good, Rodrigo.
Okay.
Ooh, nice one.
Yes.
Nice one.
Well, I think you
Here.
know how to do it.
I don't know. I like to guess things.
That's a
Okay.
good way to be. You learn a lot like that.
No.
I don't know this part.
No worries. So the next part
There.
would be yes. Excellent. All right, so you got it textured. The last part of this, I would say, is let's make it shadeless. The material.
And
Okay.
where's the camera to render it? No?
I have to.
So I think you're saying look through the camera, right? So we can see where the background is.
Where's? How do I make? Oh yeah, true. It was sync. It was shift, and what else?
Well, to look through the camera first is number pad 0 or view menu camera.
Oh.
It starts like near the bottom, the lower one.
Oh.
Yes, and then it's Shift F. If you want to move it, but that will just show you the view. And you can move forwards and backwards. Yeah, Perfect.
There. How how I get out of here?
Let's see. Oh, just move your how you move in the 3D view normally with
Oh
the
yeah.
mouse wheel. Yes. So the last thing would be to make it shadeless. So on the material itself, the red sphere thingy, what's the best thing I can call that icon? Yes. I know you said you like to guess. This one should be straightforward. If you look lower, you'll see
Shading.
it.
Okay. So I think it's
And
this one, right? Shadeless. Yeah.
yes. And I'll do a test render image.
Okay.
Well, actually go to the render menu because this is going to show you the gray space too. This will just give you a little bit more of like a blocked out view of how it's going to look.
Oh no, it's where? Oh,
The render menu up top.
here. Oh, render.
In image.
Okay.
All right. So you might want to size up the background slightly more.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to help you unwrap this image because you can notice there's a harsh crease in the middle.
Yep. Like this thing that makes it like look 3D.
Yes, it's kind of cool. I'd be terrified to see that if I was an astronaut, though. Like, what's happening? So the next thing, so first scale that up a little bit. You can just right click the
Oh.
anytime you mess up, just hit Control Z. Control Z has been my best friend since I had a computer.
Me too.
Control C.
Control Z. Z as in zebra. So basically the
Oh.
same undo and redo keys that would work like in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint and stuff would work here. And if you're on Mac, the same controls you would use on another. I know you're on Windows, but anyone with a Mac, or if you ever do use a Mac on it with this, basically the basically the undo and redo commands that work in most programs will work in Blender. So yeah, if you ever move something the wrong way, if you ever delete something, just don't be worried.
I think I have to make it bigger. So it was.
You might want to come out of the rendered view for a moment, and then you'll be able to see what you're selecting and stuff like that. The newest version of Blender that's going to be coming out, I think
There.
not so soon, is actually going to let you see this type of view with the, like the scale, rotate, and arrows and stuff like that over it. And it's actually going to let you do Blender cycles in real time like a game engine, kind of like Unreal Engine 4, like close to that quality, but not as streamlined for gaming. It's going to be a really big, amazing update that's well, it's one of those game-changing updates. When it happens, I'll let you guys know. We probably won't switch to it because it will require the latest hardware to like really make use of it. But it's gonna be cool. Okay, so from here, right-click. Is the background still selected, right?
Yep. I think so.
Okay. You can keep it in rendered mode if you want. We want to go to edit mode, and then I think everything's probably selected by default. So just go to the mesh menu,
Mesh.
and then
Oh, what the heck? What? I want to move the little thing of zoom.
just hit escape.
What the
No
heck?
worries. So what happened was, I think it grabbed an object or something. You might want to go to wireframe mode or solid or something. Okay, so you have that selected. Go to edit mode again. Select the background. Select the background first.
Okay. Oh.
Back to object mode and then select the background. So basically, the way to think of object and edit mode to try and remember them is if you buy furniture for your house or your bedroom, let's say your bedroom, you have a TV, your bed, a video game system, computer, desk, whatever. Object mode, you get kind of reposition stuff. But in edit mode, it's like you're modifying your bed's frame or you're like sculpting the wood in the back. It's specific to the object, but object mode is all the objects in this. So go to the mesh menu.
Mesh. See here,
It's
right?
next to edit mode,
Okay.
just to the left of it.
Oh yeah.
And then go to UV unwrap and choose unwrap, the first one. Now go back to object mode and then go to rendered view.
Oh.
There you go. And now press play on the timeline in this view if you want. Just make sure you save your work after.
I have an alarm for every hour.
Nice. All right.
Wait, because look, I play it and I stop it and it moves. And when I stop it, it moves. But when
I
it's
see.
like,
Go to
look.
solid view instead of rendered. It might just be that rendered view is a little too taxing on it. So like material, textured, doesn't matter which. Okay. So you got your animation set up, the basics of it, the rocket there, the scene,
Okay.
you know. So I mean there might be some minor tweaks, but if you want to see this as an actual movie file, I want to show you this in Pablo and Rodrigo. This step isn't so crucial right now because we're gonna do a little more before we finalize. But just as a last thing before we go, click on this camera icon,
Okay. Render, right? I think. Oh.
this one, and then not yet, where it says output, we're gonna change PNG to a different format. So click on that and choose FFmpeg video, the bottom one.
Okay.
Now scroll down a little bit more.
I think it's the
Oh, is that as far? Open
Yep.
encoding where it says encoding. Expand that, and now it says, okay, let's see. H.264 is correct. Output quality, that stuff's good. Click where it says preset. I just want to see what in MP4, the second option. This will make it so your video, like that, your render turns into a video file when it finishes. And if you want to render this, go to render. You don't have to do it right now, but
Okay.
render animation. So make sure you save your file before you render stuff, just to make sure you have everything backed up. You never know if something crashes or something. And then render animation, and you'll get a video file. The video file will be stored in a folder called TMP on your C drive. So this is actually going pretty quick. If you
Yeah.
guys want, we can actually see the final output if you'd like. And then let's see, is the rocket moving at all?
Yeah, but backwards,
Okay.
slowly. Like as you can see, it's like moving backwards.
Yes, I just saw. Okay, perfect. Your rocket ship almost reminds me of like a really big, scary fish rocket ship. It's
Is that
cool.
one day I was like testing Blender, like making rare stuff, and I said I want an alien ship, spaceship, and I started like making lots of things in a circle, and it ended up like that. And I liked the way it looked, so I saved the file.
It's great. I love it. This looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice work, Norman.
Thanks.
So basically next week, just while this is finishing, I'll show you guys how to animate the camera. I think I showed you guys a little bit about moving the camera. I'll show you guys that one more time, just so we can add a little bit of dynamic layer to it. And we can do a little bit of post-production, like video effects in Blender, to the final video. Any last questions before we adjourn?
No?
Okay.
All right.
No.
Progress. Good progress. So make your rocket ships over the week as cool as possible, and then we'll be ready to finalize the video and maybe post it online or put it in your lab book. put
Yes.
pictures in your lab book, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay, guys, good work.
Thank you.
Bye, Rodrigo.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Pablo.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Pablo. See you next week.
See you.
Brent, thank you. That was great.
You're welcome. So, John, I'll see you tomorrow for. Oh, bye, Lila.
Hi, bye, Lula.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for setting all the PayPal stuff up. Great.
Right now, I'm sending all my emails to the other parents.
Oh, okay. Thank you. How did you think the first session went? Anything we can do better?
No,
Besides,
it
Mhm.
was very nice. I think Salvador will need a special session.
yeah.
I see he's really behind.
Okay. Well, we recorded this, but
Well, if you record it, you send us you can send the link to Maria.
right. We'll do that. Okay.